Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in this video,
I stopped dating around the time when I found out that there are women out here who are giving their boyfriends their work checks, and their boyfriends are giving them money out of that check for them to go and spend. I don't compete nowhere where I can't compare. The playing fields are not leveled at this point. Y'all the elitist employees. You can have all of them and you deserve them.
do you remember Portia at the reunion? Who said that? Who does that? Because who is doing this in this day and age? You go and work 60 hours and then you give your paycheck to your man. Hey, this one is another level juju. This juju is another level. This voodoo is a different level because this is darkest manipulative tactic. Hey, you go and work, then you give your paycheck to a man. A lot of women were saying, oh, I'm not good with money. Did he convince you that you weren't good with money? Or do you think you're not good with money and you can't manage your own self? So why are you in a relationship? Because what is going to happen is you're going to start begging for money. You're begging for money. He gives you change. If any guy manages to convince you that the best way for you guys to manage your finances is for you to give him your paycheck at the end of the month, so he manages the money because he is good at money and you are not, red flag. Okay? That is to control you. It's just to control you. Because that means that everything that you need, you have to ask him permission for it. You find this new you won't be able to take care of yourself. How do you buy things for yourself? How do you maneuver? How do you live the life that you want when somebody is managing your finances? So he gets to do whatever he wants, but you don't. Hey, all under the guise of you're not good with money. I am good with money, so let me be the one handling the finances. If he's that good with money, let him pay for everything. I'm sorry, let him do it. Because why would you do that? But anyway, don't let me spoil it for you. Let's get into the stitches.
I've never done this, but I did have a roommate in first year university. And she would, so her boyfriend was unemployed or working some weird job that wasn't sustainable or whatever. Regardless, so she would drive him home every morning, come back, and then she would use our grocery foods to feed him. So if there's a package of 5 sausages, she would make 3 because he's really hungry and he whatever. It got to a point where she actually dropped out of school. This poor girl was so cute and so smart. She just was enamored by this guy who was just sucking her dry and I just remember she'd be down there cooking and then they would set up and me and my other roommate, because we had this it was a townhouse kind of thing, but me and my other roommate, we were just watching this being what do we do, what do we say, and eventually we did have a sit down conversation with her, but for some reason she didn't hear us as coming to her as women. She heard us as attacking her and her boyfriend, and she's well, it's not that big of a deal, it's not that big of a deal. I'm well, if it's not that big of a deal, then maybe he can put some bread behind this, Of course, she ended up feeling alienated, and she left. I haven't thought about her in at least 15 years. The self-esteem was so low on her face and everything. And when I tell you she was beautiful, she literally could have been a model. And you know what? They do say that. I mean, I struggle with it too because I'm super stunning and gorgeous. But you let someone like that get into your head and make you feel like you have to jump through all these hoops, and if you're not used to being treated kindly, oh boy, me, I've been guilty of this so many times, But if you're not used to being treated kindly, and if you don't know what boundaries are, when that man says he's gonna leave you because you're not cooking eggs in the morning, you jump 2 feet 10 toes down. That was weird. You accommodate things that you probably shouldn't, is what I'm trying to say.
Giving their boyfriends their work checks.
Unfortunately, this has been happening for a long time. I have experience of this. I was married in 2002. My son came along in 2004. I had been with my ex-husband then for 2 years previously. A year into the relationship, we moved in together into a place outside of hospital accommodation, which is where we were living at the time. And we opened a joint bank account, perfectly normal. Everybody does it. We opened a joint bank account because we had household bills to pay, and we decided it would be good if they were all in one place. The original idea was to split the bills and put that amount of money from our own bank account into the joint account. Absolutely. Started to get to the point, once we had gotten married, that he was like, maybe we should just get paid into the joint account. That'd be easier. Then we can transfer out. Stupid here, didn't think anything of it. So that's what we did. And my son comes along and the attitude starts to change a bit. And I would have to start explaining what I needed to take the money out of the joint account for. I was on maternity leave, but I was still getting paid. So I was still putting money into the account, but I was having to sort of justify why I needed it. And I don't mean for like household bills and food and things like that and, the general things that babies need. I meant that if I wanted something, I'd get questions about it and I'd have to sort of justify why I needed it. And my ex-husband would start saying things like, well, I don't mind you spending on things, but I want you to have something to show for it. Meaning that he thought that what I was spending money on was like frivolous and things like that. And it wasn't necessarily. It was just, I wanted some clothes or I wanted some new makeup or something like that. It wasn't just stuff that didn't, that just disappeared or, was an unnecessary purchase. It was just the stuff that I wanted. But anything that I bought was then deemed by him to be not worthy of it. And he'd get annoyed if it wasn't something he deemed to be, something to show for it. So he would sort of then, if I wanted to go shopping, it was like, well, you can take this amount of money out of the account. And I was back working at this point and I'd be like, but that's my money. Yeah, but you're not very good with it. And I think that a lot of the fact that this is still happening shows it can be two things. It can, first of all, in the more sort of minor way, but then becoming more of a major problem, it can show that, these men, not all of them, I am not saying that before anyone comes to me or comes for me, not all of them, but these men in particular that are doing this, that are taking the paychecks, are scared of independent women. And they want to turn them into like the non-independent women, obviously. But the other more, the more dangerous problem is, not that that isn't a dangerous problem, but that can be a more dangerous problem is, this is what starts off financial abuse. And it happens slowly in a lot of cases where you don't realise that you're being financially manipulated until it's too late. The beginning of the end of my marriage came from me waking up. And when I went back to work properly, when my son was a little bit older, he was about a year old, because I wasn't allowed to take any more maternity leave than that because that was deemed as not worthy. But I went back into full-time employment and my ex-husband stayed at home and worked part-time, which he hated. I categorically refused at that point to get paid, because it was a new job, into the joint account. I said, no. I said, I'm going to be paid into my account and I will put the money into the joint account. And I kept it like that. And then other things, but then I became more independent. Then I wanted to go back to college, and then things started to happen, and he decided to leave because he didn't like the way things were going. But yeah, kudos completely to the girls like this, and to anyone like this who is having to give their partner, or is learning from the fact that, from giving their partner paychecks and all these kind of things, and has decided, nah, this is the way I'm going to stay. Because I think that those people are doing the best thing that they can to keep themselves safe. And I wish that I had learnt quicker and got back to being financially independent a lot quicker than I did.
We're giving them money out of that check.
My mom used to do this shit. My mom used to do this shit when she was dating a guy that she was with for like 10 years. He was very manipulative. Both of them were in a very toxic relationship. They're both really shitty people. But yeah, she used to go to work every fucking day, work like 40 plus hours a week, cutting hair and coloring hair and doing whatever the fuck else. And then she'd turn around and give him all of her money from her paycheck. And he would give her a portion of that so that she could actually spend some of it. And according to her, it was because she's just so irresponsible with it. I wonder where she got that from.
Boyfriends, their work check.
No, it's fucking terrible. The amount of busters and dusties there are out here is just fucking absurd. I used to date a guy. Hi, Kat. I used to date a guy that used to take my money out of my purse. Every time he seen my purse, he would go in it and take my money. And then I had to start hiding my money at work. And then when he found out about it, he was like, why are you lying to me? Tell me you ain't got no money. Bitch, I ain't got no money for you. The fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, R.I.P. to my fucking self-worth when I was that young. The fuck?
Boyfriends are giving them money out of that.
Me and my partner have been together for 11 years, April 27th. And we've always had our own money. I mean, obviously, if one of us is struggling, we'll help him out, you know? Like, but we split the bills in half. He pays half, I pay half, whatever money that I personally have left over after paying the bills, that's my money. And it's nice because it's not all our money together, so special occasions, he's buying me stuff with his money. I'm buying him stuff with my money. And we go in together for our kid and for our bills. It's great. And then, as I said, like, if one of us is struggling, we help out. We don't let each other flounder, but for the most part, that doesn't happen.
Watch this video twice because my brain refused to comprehend it the first time. What do you mean I'm putting in all this work? I'm going to work, showing up. I'm dealing with customers or coworkers or whatever. For me to get a check weekly or bi-weekly, for me to bring it home to my boyfriend, because I don't seem like a boyfriend, and it's just like, oh yeah, give me your check you worked hard up and I'm going to give you what I feel is right for you. Can you imagine? I'm not laughing at the women that this happens to, but men know who to do it to, because can you imagine someone said that to me, like, oh, give me the money and I'm gonna see what's fit for you. The whole check is fit for me because I worked it. First of all, I'm already mad that I had to pay Uncle Sam the little bit he had to get, or the lot of bit he had to get. So the fact that you think I'm paying two men or giving two men my money is outright insane. Women, you need to stand up. You need to do better. You need to know your worth, because that is absolutely ridiculous. And that is why, again, I am all for the 4B movement. Women need to stay on their own, be alone, because men are not treating us right. Every day I get on this app, I start understanding Cell Block Tango a lot more. It was not murder. No, it was murder, but it's not a crime. Because how dare you? If you try to do that to me, I'm going to kill you. I really am. My favorite one is, we had artistic differences. He saw himself as alive and I saw him dead. Yeah, I'll kill you for my money, because how dare you try to take my check? And any man agreeing that they're entitled to their girlfriend's money that they worked hard for, any woman, any person agreeing that they're entitled to anybody else's check, you really need to seek therapy. Use the money you're taking from the check to seek some therapy, because I can't believe this. Like those women said, if you would have been there, if you would have seen it, I bet you would have done the same, because I really have to put my hands on you and take your life.
Because the question you need to be asking is, why is he comfortable taking money from you? They have the drizzle going on. So you guys be very alert. Be alert, because some men are going to use that. I know they say it's a satire and all that, but I know a lot of guys are going to jump on that bandwagon and start manipulating women. So if you've got your shit together, you've got your own, please don't let any guy who doesn't have at least at the same level as you have or above you come into your life and control you and your finances. Because to me, that's the only way it will make sense, if you meet someone who is also making the same amount of money or more than you are making. So this whole nonsense will not be happening. Because imagine having children, like the second lady was saying. She had a child and now she has to beg for stuff. You can't take care of yourself. You can't buy what you want. You can't go where you want to go. You can't do anything. Everything has to be through him. So he's micromanaging your life. Control? Don't let any guy manipulate you into believing that you giving him money is the way to go. No, don't do it. Don't let them control your finances. Don't let them give you what? An allowance. Allowance from your own paycheck. Because how many married men give their paychecks to their wives at the end of the month for the wives to give them allowances? I'm sure if you line up 100 men, you will probably get 10%. Most of them want to keep their own money. They won't do it. Why would they give you their money? If anything, they will say, I'll pay for everything. I'll pay the bills. I'll pay the rent and all of that. But they won't give you their paycheck. Only a few women have that. I have not seen a lot of women saying their men give them their paycheck at the end of the month. For them, the women to manage the finances and give them an allowance. Like, who are you? Okay? The most you can get out of this is the guy paying for everything. But for them to give you their paycheck, well, if you've experienced that, let me know. Because if that is what works for your relationship, do it. Me, I won't do it. Would I advise my daughter to do that? Absolutely not. When something happens, you never know. So a word to the wise is always enough. If that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do it. As for me, I understand why she's saying that's why she checked out of relationship, because that is eventually going to become a requirement if other women are accepting and allowing that. Most of the guys will start thinking, hey, if this guy is doing that, and that means that my wife or my partner is also supposed to do that. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.